Greetings and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Dungeons 2, a Game of Winter DLC. Right, we finally have some progress. Transformation chambers have been activated and they are currently doing what they need to do. It is upgrading stuff, which luckily doesn't take any extra resources as far as I know. And also is very cheap on the population points, since upgrading zombies doesn't cost anything. Now, I find I always want to upgrade my zombies into the next level anyway, because it makes them so much more efficient.
There are enemies in your dungeon. The brain-hungry evil had awakened a ghoul. These creatures were able to feast on the dead and could take a lot of damage.
Yeah, they're also a lot faster than zombies, so you definitely want to upgrade them soon.
The tasty brain spell has been developed. It allows the scurvy evil to designate an opponent as especially tasty for its mindless army.
Right, let's get the next level of alchemy chamber. So I can speed up this pot producing process. Right. We got all this bollocks going on.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Right, so all my ghouls are up. Now the ghouls don't have the auto-resurrect ability of the zombies, which is a pity, but
Payday.
since they are much stronger, it's a trade-off I'm quite willing to make. Zombies are more or less able to, or ghouls are more or less able to heal by eating the opponents. Quite literally. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind. Right, while we're at it though, let's also upgrade our skeletons. Now this does take up a little bit more population points, but the upgrade is definitely worth it. If I can ever get my things to finish it. Right, one of my gold deposits has finished. That is a pity, but you know, that happens. Alright, let's get to the next level then. Transformation also doesn't take all that long, which is quite good. Right. And let's give them this.
The scope-using evil had awakened a deathbolt. As opposed to its name, it had kept up with the times and used an oversized gun to take out enemies at long range.
Ooh, yes, it does indeed. And it is very good at that. So much so that I don't feel the having regular skeletons is really useful. Right, the alchemy station has been finished, so let's get them set up. And they are just better than the alchemy tables, so there's no point in keeping any alchemy tables. So now we should be getting a much more increased speed of pot production.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Yeah. They're already breaking all my pots. Right, let's research the next thing. The bomb. I can't do another research just yet. I do want, however, the mana shrine as soon as I can. Now that I have some death bolts. Now death bolts are very efficient. They are effectively snipers.
Developed in the mana tools. The bomb. This isn't some kind of big ice cream sundae, but rather an immense chunk of ice that falls to Earth from the sky, doing immense damage.
Yes, indeed. Will be quite useful once it goes into operation. But for now we have the technological advantage again, so we should be able to head off whatever the enemy is doing. And here we have the first of the level 2 resting places. Which pretty much demonstrates why it's so difficult to plan for these. Alright, just keep producing. I need you to be efficient. Let's see, there's nothing here that gives me... The power napping would be nice. Let's increase the capacity. And I will want to improve the laboratory, but you know... The mana shrine is a little bit more important, since I do want all my my frights to work as fast as they can. Although speaking of frights, I suppose I can at least have one of them upgrade. Alright, come on. Make me pot.
Payday.
And of course I'm out of gold. Well, I'm not gonna tangle with the dragons just yet. I mean, I could, but there's no need. Mana shrine first.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. The Death Evil had awakened a banshee. Not only could these screaming creatures damage eardrums, they could also make themselves invisible.
Come on. Alright. Mana shrine. That should make things a lot more easier. Alright, back to work. Yeah, I really need to start getting some more gold out of these hills. And I'm constantly spending it again. So wherever I can find some loose gold, I will take it. Right, that'll also get some blood drinkers level up. Just simply to show you how darn cute this game can get.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Right. Let's get set up with some traps over here.
The cuddly evil had awakened a gremlin. These cute and bloodthirsty creatures could set traps, bewitch enemies, or simply take a hearty bite out of an opponent. And when they weren't doing any of those, they took care of the graves in the cemetery.
Which is definitely what you want them to do, because that speeds up the recovery time a great deal. Alright. Let's give them the bewitch ability. And let's give skeletons the ability to have land some more critical hits. Right. Let's stack the gold higher. And we need some more gold. Come on. I know I'm mining gold, so where's the gold? It's likely that all my forgotten are busy placing traps again. Yeah, looks like. At some point I really have to start going after the enemy. But let's set up our trap system first so we can be sure that they will not run over me. I mean, this is nice and all, but doesn't necessarily guarantee that I can stop the enemy.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Right.
It's payday.
All right.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Alright, they're getting a little bit bold. And I'm out of mana. Well done. Alright. More gold, please. Alright, well. Let's start reclaiming the surface then. There's not much else I can do here. Leastwise not while I... you can come along as well.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
There. Stop taking out those camps. Right, we have regeneration. I'll put that on one of my ghouls. Yep. And that is a dead end, alright, fine. Need to take a little bit of pressure off of my flank. And that requires buffers. Alright, that's fine. Alright, snipe. Right, Balthus, if you would be so kind as to lend me your help. Head over here. Now. Right.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Let's desecrate this place. And now we can enter.
Corrupted Evil would certainly use Barthas's new ability to desecrate Multisand's temple, so that the mindless army could enter.
Alright, and let's also desecrate these graves. Let's see, chance of landing critical hits, definitely a skeleton. summon some friends. Alright. And desecrate, please.
It's payday.
No, I'm not leaving this until I destroy one of those outposts, because frankly, it's been taking too long to deal with that. That's a lot of dudes. Some friends, please, Barthas. Oh, just look at those snipers tearing through those hapless defenders. Also, the reason why I brought the Banshee along is because he can see through invisibility.
Had added a ghoul to its army. These emaciated brain biters were particularly well suited as melee fighters on the front lines.
Indeed that they are. And if they can just stand together, they can actually, you know, do something useful like return to the dungeon together. Right. Well, that'll have to do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.